morning, friends. My glasses are so dirty today. Well, it's as good as it's gonna get. Oh, happy Monday, everybody. Hi, Christine. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Misty. Hi, Julie. Hi, Valerie. Can you believe we ran into each other the other day? How cool is that? Hi, Sarah. Did you hear that? So, how are you guys? How was your weekend? I'm very sleepy. It's so groggy and foggy and rainy here. It rained all night. My sump pump is working overtime. Hi, Maggie. Christine is exhausted. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Melissa. Good morning, Bugsy. I don't think I've seen your name around here before. Good morning, Beth. Hi, Brian. Ugh, it's foggy and rainy in your head. Ah, I hear that. Oh, Janine. Okay, Bugsy, because that's your new cat. Okay, I'm with you now. Good morning, Freddie. Hi, Aaron. Aaron, it was really good to see you too. I wish it were colder out so the rain would be pretty snow. Oh, I mean, I hear that, but not me. I'm not a snow person. I like it right after it snowed, and then I would like it to go away. All right, well, energy checks. 1 to 10. 1 is roadkill, 10 is fully animated creature. What are we thinking today? Mm. 6-ish. Thank you. 6, but Janine hasn't had, not Janine, but Janelle hasn't had coffee yet. 6, 7, 3, 7, 5.5, 6. Okay. Okay. 4. Has anybody else been experiencing some very stereotypical, traditional Mercury retrograde stuff? You know what I mean? Oh, Chris, while I'm looking at you, I've been a little scatterbrained. We didn't have our session last week. If you want to pop one in on Thursday, I can do Thursday. Just so you know, if you wanted to do that, just connect to me. Yes, it's been crazy, right? Like crazy, and I don't know. It's been noticeable, I would say. Hi, Claudia. Oh shit. You mean like your ex coming back acting like everything's okay? Then yes. Ooh. Ooh. That sounds like a story for some wine. Hey, girl. Good morning, Vera. Technology issues. Now that we're in Mercury retrograde, which, like that's a thing, but it's been really remarkable this time, I think. Oh my God. Hi, Angie. I haven't seen Angie in a minute. How are you, girl? Good morning, Black China doll. Oh yeah, my ex suddenly being a cooperative co-parent who wants to take the kid to Christmas stuff. Yeah, creepy. Okay. Well, ugh. Good idea, Janelle. Thank you. Cicada ring. I recently came across a video from that time when the cicadas came out, like the 17-year cicada situation. And it was like a video of Eli jumping on a trampoline. He was like doing a tutorial, like showing me how he does a flip or something. And the sound of the cicadas in the background. Do you remember that, guys? Like how it was just like a constant soundtrack in the background of like that buzzing sound. What was that? Was that 2020? Do we think? No, 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 it wasn't. It had to be 2021, right? It had to be 2021, I think. I don't know. Maybe you know. Yeah, I love cicadas too. I don't like when they fly into me. They're hefty. I think it was 21. Yeah, 2021. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to do insects. Obviously, the first one's going to be cicada, but don't just go with that because we're talking about it. We're going to have other insects too. So we're going to have cicada, dragonfly, and monarch butterfly. How about that? Cicada, dragonfly, and monarch butterfly. I feel like all of these choices I've never done before. I love that for us. Cicada, dragonfly, and monarch butterfly. Exactly, 12-year and 17-year. Yeah, sorry guys, you love them all. Damselflies. What's a damselfly? Oh my God, Angie, are you there still? Janelle says all free but dragonfly for Angie. All right, so cicada, dragonfly, and monarch butterfly. Chris says cicada and monarch. Did I say 5 energy wise? I'm feeling like a 7 or 8 now. You're welcome. We miss you, Angie. Hope you're doing well. Are you planning to pop into the 27th channeling situation? Also, if you have messaged me or emailed me about getting the link for the live channeling and ritual for the 27th, don't worry. I didn't not see you. I've just been extra super busy. So by the end of this week, you will get everything that you need. So do not worry. And as a reminder, for all of my friends who have joined us in channelings before, if you didn't get the email, right? I sent an email that you can just go ahead and get the link and get in there. It's donation only, so whatever works for you. It's on the 27th. It'll be probably 7:30 on the 27th, and it's going to be a full moon ritual with channeling, just like we used to do back in the olden times. So if you would like to check in with the fam and do that, send me a DM if you didn't get the email. on Instagram, or just send me an email, like directly to me. Okay. All right, here we go. Here comes cicada. Hmm. Janelle's like, let's go. All right, I have cicada. Tell me when you're ready. Janelle's ready over here on TikTok. Oh, hi, Caress. All right. You ready, YouTube? So we've got cicada, dragonfly, and monarch butterfly. Okay. So here you go. Bard, again, the bee, and the spider. So coming through with some insects for insect day. So bard, the bee, and the spider. I don't remember which pull it was on Friday that had the bard, but I feel like the bard recently came up. So if you had gotten the bard recently, here it is again. So this is all about your story, right? What is your story that you're telling yourself? It's really interesting, especially at this time of year, to kind of reflect back on the past year of your life and ask yourself what that story is. Like, what's the story you're going to tell yourself about it, right? Because your perspective on the events that have happened in the past year, just as an example, your perspective on that and the story you spin about it is going to create a little bit of a foundational energetic platform, right? That we're going to keep building off of. And that happens upon reflection always. And sometimes that energetic platform that you build is a little bit toxic, right? Or fear based, or it's telling you a story about, very sad sack kind of story and how everybody's against you and how everything was kind of shitty and like whatever. And that's fine. Sometimes things are shitty. But this particular cicada poll is asking you about your story and what you're going to say this time. Like to actually be conscious of what that story is in reflection now. And with the understanding that you are allowed to make revisions to that, you are allowed to reflect back and see it in a different perspective and rewrite those parts so that you have it, right? This is the cicada pull. And kind of in that, the energy of that. Um, the cicada is very interesting, and I think ties in very well with this because it lives under the ground for years and years and years, right? And it is a full creature. It's not, it doesn't come out of the ground as not a full creature. It is, but it is a wingless creature, right? So it comes up out of the ground as one thing and then evolves into a completely other thing. And that can be you as well if you want, right? And one part isn't better than the other, it's just different. So, stories. You also have to be in the spider. And this is really meant to be an encouragement for you to keep going because you might feel tired and scared and uncertain about things, but keep going because the creative energy that you might be not feeling at this exact moment is coming up. Never really is gone. It's an ebb and a flow. And you might be in a little bit of an ebb right now, and that's okay. It's totally part of it. And when you're in the ebb, rest so you can get ready for the flow. Okay? So that is your cicada. Hi, Cassie. So if you're just joining us, the choices this morning are cicada, dragonfly, and monarch butterfly. That was cicada. If you missed it and you would like the cicada one, you can always watch the replay on Instagram or on YouTube. Tell me when you're ready. This is your dragonfly. Wouldn't that be something if I did? All right. So this is your dragonfly. Okay. I see. You're all ready. Okay. So we've got hawk, stag. Haven't seen stag in a minute, right? Wealth. Hawk, stag, and wealth. Oof. What an abundant pull for this one. Thank you. Um, wow. Okay. This is your dragonfly. So we've got hawk, wealth, and stag. First, we're going to talk about this one. So this you may have gotten if you've been here for a minute. This may have been something that was popping up for you a few months ago, right? Or a few weeks, who can remember? But regardless, stag energy is a it's a whole vibe that you bring with you into the space that you inhabit, right? Because you think about the energy of stag is like kind of walking into a space with your chest open, your shoulders down, and like your heart leading your way in, right? Not afraid to take up space, but also not taking up other people's space. It's a contained yet radiant energy, if that makes sense. It's very confident. In fact, it's so confident, it doesn't need any other energy to amplify it because it's self-sustaining and self-creating, right? It's a whole vibe basically. And when you have that energy and you bring that energy into your life and that's how you approach things in your life, the energy around you really has no choice but to respond accordingly, right? So if you've been playing with that energy of walking into the room with that like self-contained confidence, right? At this point, have you noticed that the energy responds in kind to you? Have you noticed feeling, even while things might be incredibly wonky and bizarre, feeling this sense of, I got this. And even though you may not feel in control all the time, it's a different kind of stability. It's not a control stability because that's more tight. It's like that's holding on to something, but it's just like this loose, like effortless stability because it's coming from within you. You don't need anybody to amp that up. But the irony is when you don't require other people's validation to feel good about yourself or to feel good about what you're doing, you will get it. Have you noticed that too? When you don't need it, it's so much easier to find. It just it's kind of inevitable. So that's a vibe around you right now. And in that beautiful pocket you found yourself, the navigation is easy because you're responding to what's in front of you and not leaning ahead into what might be, right? And in this space, you're being asked to pay attention to the signs, to the synchronicities, and to allow yourself to kind of get caught up in the magic of all of it. You know what I mean? Um, it's important because it's going to continue to push you in, not push you, but propel you into the spaces that you want to be, right? Even as those spaces might change. But this is a very like, I don't know, the vibe of this is so delicious because it feels like you finally gotten to that space where you're good with you. And as a result, all of the energy is conspiring to support that realization. So let it do that. Enjoy it. Okay? Enjoy it. It's very good. Delightful. Way to go, dragonfly. The last one is going to be monarch. Monarch butterfly. I know, right? What a nice message. It wasn't stabby at all. Good way to enter the weekend. Wait, no. It's Monday. Start the week. Whatever. Whatever. I'm not here to tell you what day it is. That's not my job. Yeah. Yeah, literally. I'm staying in my lane. I pulled, so let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed Dragonfly because this is a very different message. My monarch friends, here's your communication, death, and the goblin. The fuck? Ooh! Oh my god. I was trying to I was trying to keep it together so you wouldn't know. Okay. Who did this? All right, no, I'm just kidding. It's totally fine. Okay. So anyway, do you remember which ones I said? It's communication, death, and the goblin. All right, let's get serious. All right, let's see what the situation is. All right, so the first card though, did you see this one even? It's called communication. And as you know, um, historically, when we are in Mercury retrograde, because Mercury is communication, right? That's your communication. Um, it can be challenging to communicate clearly. I would probably guess that during this particular retrograde, since it seems to be incredibly potent and stereotypical, you might have that issue. But let's just quickly talk about why sometimes it's difficult to communicate. And we're not going to blame it on the planets because that's not fair, exactly. Because the main issue with communication is fear of being actually seen and being honest and saying what you mean. That's the real problem. It might be helpful to check and see what sign your Mercury is in to understand yourself a little more about how you communicate or don't, right? But the issue with this energy for this particular one is if you say something, you're afraid you're gonna lose something. And you are having a real wrestling match with that because part of you is like, I need to let it go. And the other part's like, pry it from my cold dead hands. I worked too hard for this. This is mine. And I don't know what to tell you. That's a very human dilemma to have, right? We say, this is what I've chosen to do, and I'm going to be tenacious about it and never fucking give up. And, at the end of it all, I can just say that I didn't give up. I don't know. We really love that vibe, right? So, what is happening with you with this? Do you know what I mean? Like, do we need to break it down? Like, do we need a session? Like, what's happening? Because it feels like this non-starter energy has got you so like, right? And it's like you just keep doing the same fucking thing over and over again, and it's madness. It's madness. But let's talk about the death situation. Why are you so scared of that? Right? Like, why are any of us so scared of that? It seems so final only because you don't understand the chapter, right? We don't understand the energy of death, obviously. We've been taught to fear it, that death is the end. But if you just kind of pull back a little bit and take a look at nature, because that's where we really should be looking to see what is going on and how energy works, right? Everything has a cycle. Everything dies, but death isn't the end of something. It's how the energy resets, right? To become something else or to become itself again, right? It's a period of fucking rest. And this, honestly, for some of you, feels very much like a relationship. When the goblin comes up and communication comes up and death comes up, it's like, it's very relationshipy. It can also be a job because that's a relationship energy as well. Um, but like, think about it for a second. Think about it for a second. If you don't let something die that needs that period of rest and regeneration, what are you actually doing there? You're allowing it to basically disintegrate in a space where it can never become what it needs to become. It's actually insane when you think about it. I'm thinking about it and it feels insane. So sometimes, you know that cliche that like, you love someone, set them free. It's meant to be, they'll fly back to you. Well, maybe you should think about that, right? Because whatever this energy is, whatever this is you're sitting on and dancing around and not being straight about, it's pretty inevitable, isn't it? You may have a few more spins left in you, a few more pivots, a few more, publicity stunts to kind of change the public opinion on this one. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is going to happen unless some other energy that's not originating from you comes in to shift that particular timeline, which means the other person, the other party here would need to have an inner understanding and epiphany that propels them to make a shift that has nothing to do with you. Do you see what I'm saying? This is very specific, I feel, but hopefully this is helpful. As crazy as this poll might vibe for you at this time, it actually feels very promising. By letting it die, you let it live. It is so selfish not to let this die, just for the sake of your ego, just for the sake of saying, but I don't want to have failed. I've put too much of my energy into it. What does that even mean? What a thing, like what a thing for us to say, right? I put too much of my energy into this particular thing to let it go. Oof, right? That's a very Scroogey vibe. That's lack mentality. That's fear-based. It's very closed. It's not abundant. You're acting like giving your energy to something that has been life-giving, even if it isn't anymore, was somehow a waste of your time. Don't be a bitch like that, okay? We don't need to be like that. Your energy can be regenerated. And giving your energy in the spirit of actual love to somebody or something that you care about is never going to be wasted. Okay? But that doesn't mean it has to stay the same forever. So if this is you, monarch friends, allow the cycle to be what the cycle is. Because I have this sneaking suspicion that in this death is the lesson that needs to be learned for both parties. And then you just have to trust and, let Jesus take the wheel, as they said. So I'm sorry. That was a little stabby. What are you gonna do, right? Sometimes it just be that way. Okay, but hey, you can always go back and watch the dragonfly because that was lovely. Super good. All right, well, I hope you have a really nice week, and I will see my workshop friends on Wednesday. See the rest of you on Friday morning. And like I said, we're going to be doing the full moon ritual and channeling on the 27th, which is really like not that long from now. Kind of crazy. If you want to join us, donation based. You want to see your OGs, see your friends, just let me know. You should have an email for me. If you don't have it, just DM me or send me an email, and I will be sending out all of those links to you on Friday. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here. And I'll talk to you later. Goodbye, TikTok. And goodbye, my YouTube friends. Chris, don't forget to message me.